Hello, hello, hello everyone. This is Thingy from the Sanctum of the Soul, and welcome back to another unboxing video. And today I have received the Faceted Garden Oracle. This was on Kickstarter. Relatively quickly, I think it arrived. It was, I think, just 2 months ago that this was live on Kickstarter, and it's already in my hands. In fact, this arrived, I think, an entire week ago. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, so I guess that's not going to matter that much. But suffice to say, it took only about a month to arrive, so I am extremely impressed. But it is worth noting that this is probably because this is not the artist's first deck. You might be familiar with the Illuminated Earth Oracle. It was on my wish list for the longest time, but I never got around to buying it. And then when I finally wanted it, it was out of stock. But during the Kickstarter campaign, I did add that on into my pledge. But that hasn't arrived yet for some reason, so I don't know what's happening. Perhaps the printing got delayed and decided to send this to me first. Whatever, I'm really glad to have this in my hands. This is the Faceted Garden Oracle, and it's a 50 card oracle of metaphor and symbolism by the creator of the Illuminated Earth Oracle, by Claire Mack. So let's get to it. Literally just pulled it out of the envelope. It was in this padded envelope, and it wasn't, it arrived was it in an envelope? I can't remember. No, I think this was in a box. I don't remember because I pulled it out like a week ago and I chucked all of it away. So I'm not sure. Yeah, apologies to Miss Claire Mack. I don't remember. So beautiful embossing, is it? Or is it hot stamping? I can never get it right. So this came with a nice little, haven't opened this yet. Right, so little artwork. Thank you so much for your support. Love, Claire. And this cute sticker. I think this was part of the pledge. I'm not sure, but lovely. So most of the times, I do prefer if the money wasn't spent on things like stickers or something that's single use, because I tend not to use it. But I do keep them nicely, so they become a collectible to me rather than something I stick somewhere, because I've honestly got nowhere to stick it. I have no idea where I would stick something like that, so, but I appreciate the gesture anyway. So let's get to it. This is exciting. The the Faceted Garden Oracle. I don't know why I say faceted in such a way, but box is extremely sturdy. This is a better quality box than, Hay House or any of those mass market boxes. This is sturdy. It doesn't even budge when you push. Excellent box. And we've got the booklet here. So no book for this one. It's just a small pamphlet style booklet. But this is an oracle, so it doesn't really matter because I don't really read the oracle, the guidebooks anyway. But for people who do like a guidebook, I'm not sure if they have an accompanying guidebook. I can't remember. They might have. You might want to check out their website, which I will link below. Always. The Faceted Garden is a 50 card oracle of metaphor and symbolism. The garden referring to our home on earth with all of its conditions, both exquisite and harsh. So I really like the word conditions here. It evokes like this very Buddhist kind of concept that rather than having things happen to us, we have conditions that we were born into. The descriptions for each card are brief and associative, linking aspects of. So I really like brief, brief catch keywords, and even in the explanations, because then I can draw on the imagery and all that for myself. I'm not too concerned about what the words are saying. So we've got, yeah, so all the cards are here, and reading the cards, there is no right or wrong way. Excellent point. So I don't really go for prescriptive kind of deck readings. And we've got the cards. There we go. So this is slightly smaller than, oh, it's gilded. So this is slightly smaller than most Hay House decks. Yeah, let me just slide this off carefully. This is a holographic gilding, as you can see. It is damaged though. Yeah, it is slightly scuffed here, as you can see, which is a shame because this is a gorgeous gilding. And yeah, that's the only part that got scuffed, so no matter, I suppose. It was going to get scuffed anyway. So I do appreciate the lack of shrink wrap, but perhaps for gilding like that, a shrink wrap might have worked better, or if the box had fit a bit more snugly. No matter. And the backs of the cards. This is a kind of matte cardstock. I appreciate my matte cardstocks. If the matte prints, if you've been following my videos, you will know I have a soft spot for matte cards. The cards are relatively thick. Not that bendy, which I appreciate. So I know people who appreciate bendy decks, but I'm one of the people who don't, because I prefer, I don't do like those fancy shuffles. I just do overhand, so it doesn't really matter to me if it's not bendy. And I feel like because of the overhand shuffles, thicker, stiffer cardstock tends to last longer. But that's just personal preference, of course. And we've got, the cards are arranged in alphabetical order. The bezel, I suppose, are all slightly different colors, I suppose, to complement the artwork of each card. So let's get to it. Animal allies. The artwork is gorgeous, and you can see it's extremely photogenic. Wow. Right, so this is the style of artwork that drew me into the Illuminated Earth to begin with. So when this came out, I was thrilled. We've got Anomaly. Birth. Of course, the birth of oceans, the birth of land, the birth of human life, the birth of plant life. There's a lot of imagery going on. Bloom. Blooming from the heart. Blooming in your intuition. Blooming in your lower chakras as well. So this is a lot of growth and change. Cactus. So even though you don't really need that much water, there is still a thunderstorm behind. So I suppose this could be a bit morose. It could be about, going through a thorny patch. It'd be interesting to get a glimpse into the artist's mind to see what she meant with the cactus card. Endurance, tenacity, resilience, self-sufficient, denote a conservative and frugal nature. Alright, so the artist tends to look at these cards as archetypes, I suppose. Like that card is about an archetype, while if I'm the one reading, I might have ascribed a different interpretation to it, which I think is the beauty of cartomancy. Cartomancy. Not talking very well. cave, perhaps solitude, celestial realm. So I'm not seeing a lot of the garden that's in the name. But then again, like the explanation in the cards, the garden here refers to Earth itself. It's not like a garden, but the entirety of the Earth. So that makes sense. So this is consciousness. The colors are gorgeously vibrant. We've got these organic tree rings, so that's lovely. We've got core, cultivation, so that's a garden. Entropy, entwined, fall, so I suppose, nope, there was no autumn card. Oh, autumn is fall, right? Oh god, my brain's not working. It's like 6 a.m. So, flame, fountain, gate. Yeah, autumn is fall. So I guess that's why there's no autumn. Gate. So that's an Ouroboros. That's an interesting card. Gemstones. How lovely. So we've got the chrysocolla, perhaps a malachite on top. We've got a tourmaline below. Gorgeous. Herbal allies. So we've got animal allies and now we've got herbal allies. Humanity. So these are what was on the consciousness card, I believe. Sort of. It was on one of the cards. I don't really remember which one, but those look really familiar. Like I've literally just seen it. Was it here? No. No matter. Perhaps I'm hallucinating. Yeah, I could have sworn I saw that one somewhere. So I guess they are similar but they're not the same. Yeah, they're similar but not the same. So that's great. I always love it when artists have completely different art on every single card. I don't really like repeating cards that much. Light. We've got Lotus. Metamorphosis. Mineral Realm. Morning Song. Mycelium, which are the fungi. Nest. New Moon. Nocturnus. Passage. Perennial. Pillar. Pollinator. Ah, that's such a vibrant card. Ram. Slightly sinister there. A volcano at the background looking like blood. Scarecrow. We've got the Celtic symbol. Seeds. The cards are lovely. Spade. Spring. So we've got spring now, and there should be a summer. There is a summer in the back. Star. Summer. Imagine how lovely this would be if all the gold were gilded or embossed stamped, I don't know, sun. So this is very interesting. I was expecting sun when I read the word to, you know, just be sunflowers, but these are chrysanthemums, and that's very interesting. Terrarium, thorns, my pronunciation, union, watershed, weather, a wild card. So that's an exciting card. Wow, so you've got the light after the storm itself, you've got flowering, seeds, fruits, rainbows. Huh. We've got winter. We've got wood. And wreath. So what's interesting about this deck is, although it's called the Faceted Garden, you don't really see that many facets in the sense of faceting of a gem, which I expected, but instead this seems to be facets of experience, like different facets of perspective, perception, and there's this surreal kind of feel to it that I really enjoy. I'm not usually a fan of too much of the collage kind of art, mainly because there has been too many of them on the market recently, especially, you know, with Daniel Noel, one of the most popular ones at the moment. So I have been kind of gravitating away from that, but this deck really takes a different turn to it. It's a level of surrealism that doesn't have too much human imagery in it. It's mainly just elemental, even like things in nature, things on Earth, which I really appreciate in a deck. I'm not someone who needs human faces in a deck most of the time. In fact, I do prefer if there aren't that many. Look at the holographic foil, it's amazing. Look at that. Holy cow. That is gorgeous. Right, so let's do a shuffle. It shuffles beautifully. The gilding just, you know, it doesn't actually stick to your fingers. In fact, if you've noticed the cards, none of the cards stuck to each other. In fact, the gilding is so well done that it doesn't actually protrude from the surface, which explains why it didn't stick. So this is an extremely high quality deck. Very, very impressed by the quality in general. And let's do a read. So how will the rest of the month go in terms of growing my business? Let's see. We've got spade. We've got this one. Oh, Thor. And let's see. Oh, I'm feeling this too. This one first. We've got Herbal Allies and Thorns. Are there any more cards in there? So this deck shuffles beautifully. In case I forgot to say it, it just shuffles so well. Like, it's not too slippery, so I don't have to keep such a tight grip on it. And it's not rough enough that, you know, there's this rasping sound every time you shuffle, so that's great. I'm feeling that there's one more card. And yeah. This one. Oh, and this one as well. Oh, no, this one. I felt my thumb buzz. And cave. Yeah, and the last one, perennial. Look at how photogenic the deck is. Oh my god. Okay, so the first card is Spade. So we've got, of course, the act of actually nurturing, planting something to, yeah, basically planting something. So let's see if the guidebook agrees with that. Planting, tending, harvesting that which nurtures you, okay? Might indicate a helpful ally. Alright, so someone else might be helping to plant. Thor is, of course, moving again after a while of stagnancy, perhaps. State of gradual release and separation, breaking up, loosening of old ways, and warming to new ideas might also signify an unwanted or drastic change. Right, so the Thor here is about the polar ice, where this is not necessarily a good thaw. This is probably a thawing of permafrost, which is bad news. Herbal allies, so I'm not quite sure what that means. So let's check that out. Healing, medicine, nourishment, the wisdom of nature, and the fruits of one's labor, remedies and gifts from the earth. So after Spade, there's the harvesting of what you sowed. And then there's thorns. So probably some, you know, unnecessary, well, don't, my tongue is so tied up today. So thorns, probably some kind of opposition, some kind of unhappy, perhaps unpleasant encounters or experiences along the way. The need for security and protection, activated defenses, harshness is the underside of beauty, acceptance of yourself in all aspects. So of course that is very important when you do a business, especially when you gravitate towards the spiritual side. Then you have to accept who you are, and accept that perhaps not everyone's going to agree or gravitate to you the way you would want, and that is fine. So next up we've got Anomaly. In fact, I have had an encounter already that I won't talk about here, but it was about people telling me about acceptance, about me, and I in fact replied that I'm not here to ask for validation. I'm not here to seek agreement, but that I'm here to be myself, and if I can live up to my conscience, then that is my business. If you don't agree, you have every right to disagree with me, but that's not going to change my opinion and my way of life. And we've got Anomaly, which is perhaps something unexpected. The unexpected, yeah. A deviation from the norm, which that may incite surprise or fear, the ability to adapt and accept conditions as they present themselves. So yeah, I've already encountered that, especially when the Instagram algorithms got changed. So that was a huge stumbling block for me. Cave, containment, retreat, self-soothing, surveying the landscape from a safe haven before taking action, a period of hibernation. So I guess, I have been taking more of a break this month compared to the previous month. I haven't been working quite as hard as I did last month. And, I am coming out of that period of lull now, and starting to hustle again. And perennial, so probably something about blooming. Resurrection, longevity, and resilience. the ability to withstand cycles of prosperity and poverty, suffering and joy, a hardy constitution. So of course, that refers to my slight worry about cash flow this month, and about how, how sustainable the business is going to be. So having that, that really does, ease my mind. And interestingly, just a few hours ago when I was hanging out with friends, we did a pendulum thing. Like, we did a pendulum interview with a few deities and mother, and the same thing kind of came out as well, and I got basically the same answer as perennial here, so that's great. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I 100% recommend this deck. I think it's faceted enough, that it will cover a broad range of subjects, because, I love it when cards get a bit less specific. I like when there's some leeway, some way of adapting to different contexts that a querent or you may need guidance in. So it's really good to have a deck that can work in multiple subjects, multiple topics, multiple questions, and that's always a good thing. And this deck manages it beautifully. All the cards so far, they aren't the easiest to read, admittedly, but the messages are vague enough that you can put your spin on it no matter what the situation is. And I really enjoy that bit. So thank you for watching. This is Thingy from the Sanctum of the Soul, and I will link everything below. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.